On a recent video of mine, I got this comment here, which says, "Hey Steffen, first of all, thank you so much for your content. You're amazing. I've just monetized my first channel following your tips, but I am in the politics niche. I saw some videos of you talking about it and also some comments saying it's risky. So is there any way of protecting myself and YouTube refuse to pay me or something like that in the future? I would appreciate your help." And that's exactly what we will be looking into today. So I'll actually give you a few tips to keep your channel safe and also to keep other channels safe you might create in the future, all right? But first of all, amazing that you actually take action. Not many people that just watch YouTube videos take action. So here you guys just see that whatever I teach 100% works, right? Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Steffen. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars with faceless YouTube channels, and I've also helped hundreds of other people do the same. For example, here Martin, who have helped to make $31,000 in one single month, or here even another student, $12,000 in a month, here another one, $24,000, and many, many more. You guys can read through all of this. Now, if you're interested in getting the exact same results, just check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me. We currently have a special offer running until the 30th of November. So yeah, check that out. Make sure to book your call right now with me personally. And I would say, let's get into the video. So firstly, for keeping your politics or news kind of channel safe, something I can highly recommend you is to not use AI in your thumbnails. And do not mislead with visuals. Now, let me give you guys a real life example, or tell you guys a real life example. So this year, beginning of the year, we started two channels, right? I started one channel and one of our students started one channel. I used AI in my thumbnails. He did not. My channel got banned. His did not get banned. All right. So AI is a huge red flag in the news and politics niche. And I would highly recommend you guys to not do that. So if you are in politics, just use real images. All right. Then make sure to use disclaimers in your videos. So for example, here I have a few disclaimers for you. So for example, here standard news disclaimer, most recommended. Use this for general news videos. I'll link all of these below this video. Then here like these breaking news developing story disclaimers. Use this when the story is not fully confirmed yet. And then analysis commentary news disclaimer. Use this if your video contains opinions, explanations, or analysis. So these are three different disclaimers which you can use in your videos and also in your video description to, make your channel a little bit safer when it comes to YouTube, all right? Then do not use insane titles. Now, I see way too many people, and that includes myself. And, somehow you kind of have to go the next step and really clickbait really hard in niches like that. But try to not go too far with it, because YouTube is going to ban you for misinformation if you go too far with your titles. And by the way, many people don't know you can also get banned for just your titles and your thumbnails, right? Especially the thumbnails. And that's why we see so many, political channels getting banned for misinformation, because of the crazy clickbait they are using in their titles and their thumbnails, all right? Then avoid posting unverified rumors. Again, misinformation, all right? Then focus on facts, not ideology. Very important. Clearly mention your sources in every single video. This is gonna be way more work to actually, do that, but it's gonna keep your channel way safer, all right? Because you can clearly show hey, I got my sources from here, and this isn't just some misinformation I just randomly came up with, all right? Then do not present personal opinions as facts. Many people do that, and even if you write your scripts with ChatGPT or with AI, very often this happens, right? So really try to avoid this and always go through your scripts and make sure this is, all of this has not been done in your script. What I would highly recommend for most of you guys, actually go ahead and hire a real human scriptwriter to make sure that you don't do these things in your script, all right? Then just a little trick that might help you a lot when it comes to, political channels, news channels. This might actually save your ass and help you a lot. So something that might help a lot is getting a very realistic AI character, because political or / news personal brands seem to be safe. All right. So we see a bunch of, political personal brands or even news personal brands that are 100% safe. And that is, I don't know specifically why, but it's probably because, they show their face. I don't know why, but I would highly recommend you to get an AI character. There are so many different ways how you can do that. I would just make sure that the character you actually create is the best one or is very realistic, if that makes sense. What you can also do, because I've seen that on for example, Fiverr, you can actually hire people to record the videos for you, which will obviously be a bit more expensive, but it then makes it again very, very safe. All right. So now just a few things how you can protect your other channels. So this will just be the basics. All right. So how to protect your other channels from day one, or how to protect your channels from day one. Very simple. Use a different email address for every single YouTube channel you create. Now, why do I say that? Very simple. So let's say, for example, one channel gets banned and you have 10 channels or all your channels under one Gmail account. Every one of those channels is actually going to get banned. We call that chain banning, and it happens on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it happens everywhere, right? So make sure for every single YouTube channel you create, you literally just go ahead and you create a new Gmail address. Okay, this is super, super important. Now, one important thing I actually forgot to mention here, and also for here, if you use an aged, if you go into politics or news, try to either get a pre-monetized account that has been active for many, many years, so there is a lot of trust from YouTube, or get an aged account, because there's also more trust. All right. I see new channels getting banned way quicker than aged accounts or even pre-monetized accounts. All right. Then use different AdSense accounts. Now, this one is a bit difficult because every single person can only create one AdSense account. But what you can do is you can, for example, create AdSense accounts on family members' names. All right. So that's something you can do. Now, every single channel should only have one AdSense account. What I've seen is if you have an AdSense account, and this might, help a lot of you guys as well, which are struggling with no impressions after you get monetized, stuff like that. If a specific AdSense account is, for example, connected to 2 channels, right? And one of those channels is actually getting banned, then this channel here is going to take a dive. Like the impressions and the reach of that channel is not going to be the same anymore. Don't ask me why. It's like almost like a shadow ban that goes over to other channels on the same AdSense account. So usually for me, if I, for example, get an AdSense account banned, I will never use that AdSense account again, or that AdSense account again, simply because it's almost like a virus that goes over to the channels. Very strange. Then what I can also recommend you guys to do is use different browsers, right? Just to kind of separate your channels a little bit. Now, all of these things aren't the biggest things, but they might save you from losing all of your channels. All right. Then you can use different Chrome profiles. Now, this could be different like browser profiles on, Chrome, Microsoft Edge. Like it could be different Chrome browsers or different browser profiles on any browser. All right. This, as I've said, these things aren't the biggest things, but they can really help you and save you from losing all of your channels. All right. Now we come to the more advanced stuff. Now, just very quickly before we deep dive into this, most people do not need this advanced stuff. I see so many people that think that their IP address is banned because, they're not getting any impressions. I can promise you now that your IP is probably not banned. You just choose bad niches and post bad content. That's in most cases the reason why you don't get any impressions. And the IP ban is in most cases the easiest excuse to why YouTube automation is not working for me. All right. So as I've said, maybe 0.01% of you guys actually have your IP address banned, right? If I've gotten many channels banned before, right? And my IP address is still 100% fine. So I just want to mention that. Make sure you actually look into your niche. Look if your channel is fine. Look if your videos are actually good. Look if your thumbnails are actually good. Those are things you always want to look at instead of just saying, yeah, my IP address is bad. So, I have a free course as well. So you guys can just check that out. I'll link it in the video description below. So here it is, like a completely free course, which might help you to actually be able to pick a good niche. All right. So how to protect your channels from day one. Advanced is run channels from different devices. I would highly recommend that. So for example, for me, I run everything from my computer and I don't have any problems, all right? But if you do see problems, try to create a channel from a completely different device, all right? And then just run it from there. Okay, and then get proxies for different IP addresses. I'm not going to go too deep into this because for me personally, it's a bit complicated. Like I've never looked into it because I don't have any problems with my IP. And like I've already said, like I've gotten multiple channels banned, but I still don't have any problems with my IP. But these are the two things to kind of, which would be more advanced. So I hope this video helps. Keep in mind, this here is very, very important. This is, to keep your channel safe, to make sure the channel is actually not getting banned. Now, one more thing I actually can mention here, which is not here on my list right now, that what you can do if you go, for example, in politics, right? You can actually go ahead and at the end of the month, or let's say, for example, you made 10K from the channel. You go ahead and you actually just private all of the videos, just get the payout. Right? That's better than actually, getting the channel banned where you then don't get the money. All right. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something in this video. I really hope this helps. As I've said, I'll just link this in the video description. And keep in mind, if you're interested in working close with me, check out the first link in the video description. We have a special offer running until the 30th of November and where we work very, very closely together, which has helped, for example, here another student making $18,000 a month, or here another one doing $25,000 a week. And this is also for people who already run channels. Here we've helped a student from $200 to $400 a day. So check that out, and then I'll see you in the next video.